Hello, welcome to Stretford Paddock. This is the post-match review. Manchester United 2, Villarreal 0, or more correctly, Villarreal 0, Manchester United 2. Sancho, Ronaldo scoring the winners in a massive game for United, not just because of the politics, not just because the manager situation, but also we are through from the Champions League group stage for what seems like the first time in ages. Obviously, didn't make it last season. Season before we did, but still.
Yeah.
No, actually, season before we didn't.
When was the last time we did it? Was that...
Maybe we did.
Yeah.
Either way,
yes.
We're out of the Champions League group stage, into the knockout phase.
About when it was.
It's a big win for Manchester United. Another clean sheet.
Yeah.
I say another one. The second one we've had in like 20 games or something. What did you make of that performance? Because it wasn't all good, was it?
Forgive me for delving straight into cliches, but it was the old a game in 2 hours, wasn't it? Like, the first half was terrible, but I don't think neither team was particularly good. But from a United point of view, we weren't that great. Didn't really keep hold of the ball that often. No. There was a sort of massive gulf between the attack and the midfield, no sort of cohesion. You go into the second half, and I think that once Rashford and Bruno came on, it did seem to make a big difference. Sancho just seemed to get a new lease of life. Yeah. He did link up well with Rashford and Sancho as well. And then we get a bit of a gift, although, to be fair, Fred's done well his tenacity. He's done well to get the possession back or to get the ball to Ronaldo. He's never going to, say no to an opportunity like that. And then Jadon Sancho, who for me was man of the match, gets his goal. Maybe puts some of the doubters and some of the critics, to one side, because he has been getting a little bit of stick, hasn't he? Because of the fact no goals and no assists in the United. Well, he's got it now, hasn't he?
He deserved the goal as well, not just obviously from the fact that in that particular passage of play he was in the right position, he hit the ball in the back of the net, but he was probably United's best player tonight, or in my opinion,
Sancho.
He was United's best player tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, think you look at there was some solid performances. Someone in the chat said it. I think Victor Lindelof thought did well.
Yeah, Fred wasn't that bad.
Fred did well.
Yeah.
None of them really shone,
no.
But then for that sort of 20-minute period, Sancho shone.
Yeah,
he kept getting hold of the ball, whether it was right or left, running at defenders, doing the exact thing he's bought to do. Yeah. Run at defenders, create chances. Excuse me. Could have had a goal a little bit earlier before his goal. Got a good save though, but that again was something he created. He picks up the ball like 40 or 50 yards out. I think it was 1-2 with Bruno, wasn't it? Yeah. Goes on a run and gets a save from the keeper, and then later on obviously gets his goal. So it was a real sort of entertaining performance, and that's what I want to see from Jadon Sancho. Get hold of the ball, run at defenders, and if it doesn't come off, keep doing it, and that's what he did. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So well played to him, because like I said earlier, some of the stick he's been getting has just been stupid. Quality player. We know he's struggled a little bit in terms of fitness and getting used to the pace of the Premier League. Obviously tonight's Champions League, but tonight we saw what Jadon Sancho was about, and I'm hoping now we can take that into the Chelsea game,
because it's not just this game though, is it? He looked decent against Watford. I thought he was good against Everton as well. He's had some good little cameos. Good against Atalanta as well. I know it was only a very short spell he came on for there, but he's looked pretty good in his last few appearances for United, hasn't he? Which is obviously a good thing. But yeah, I'm really happy for him. It seemed like he'd sort of got sick of trying to find the corners, so he just smacked it in there, didn't he? It's
a great finish, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? It was like to go for the near post like that, right in the corner, because sometimes the near post you might look at your keeper, but it's such a good finish. I think that's just, you got to give credit to Jadon Sancho. And I just feel like now, you just hope this is the moment where you can, right now, he's truly becoming a United player. Yeah. Believes in himself. He's fully fit. He's up for it. He's hopefully, because I know Martial started tonight, I do think it's going to end up being him and Marcus Rashford, either side of Cristiano Ronaldo. And I think those two can get an understanding, a proper understanding, then we could be flying, because they can both swap sides, they can both cause problems to the defenders, and they both did it. I thought Marcus did well when he came on, to be fair as well, but Jadon Sancho was different levels.
Let's go through a couple of the sort of key talking points before the game.
Yeah, we'll get to your super chats as well, by the way. Don't panic, I will get to them in a minute, but so do send them in and do give you comments and hit that like button. I will get to all that in a minute.
Donny van de Beek,
solid. Not really much to shout about. I know, he's got a very sort of large fan base at United. I understand that. He had a very good game against Watford. I thought he did okay. I don't think he did anything to shout about. You can kind of see he's lacking that perhaps match fitness of playing week in, week out, or even half 1 week and a half, a few days later, because he's barely played, has he? So you can kind of understand that. Maybe a little bit similar with Anthony Martial. Hasn't played a lot of football. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And again, it did okay, but didn't do a lot. I sort of felt like we were saying it, weren't we, at our time? You bring on someone like Marcus, it's going to give us that little extra lift. And I think that's maybe what it needed. It needed someone to sort of almost keep it warm for him for
was-
an hour.
well,
Do you know
it
what I mean?
was- yeah.
Because Marcus comes on with half an hour to go and he's full of beans.
It almost felt as though, like, I know obviously Atalanta had more shots and more chance in the first half, but in terms of how the speed of the game was very slow, I thought first half especially, it's almost as though Atalanta thought we're winning.
Villarreal.
Villarreal, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, no, because the point,
Oh,
the reason
sorry,
I'm saying that, no, I was wrong.
Yeah.
But the point I'm making is it's almost as though Villarreal thought Atalanta's the game where we will either go through or not. As soon as we turn the speed up, those last 30 minutes, they didn't really have any answer for it, did they? I think they're thinking, last game of the group stage, we've got Atalanta, it's a more winnable game. It felt like they didn't really go for it tonight.
And it's just been really ironic this last week. So we've seen David De Gea save 2 penalties and we've beaten Villarreal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
It's
sad,
like,
isn't it?
it's just so...
If only it could have been 6 months
yeah,
ago, eh?
it might have been a difference. But let's not focus on negativity.
Just one quickly before we
Yeah,
go
go
into
on,
some
mate.
super chats. Harry Maguire tonight, obviously taking loads of stick after the Watford game, loads of stick after the
Stick
the
with a certain
England
person
games.
who's sat in his seat.
Yeah, but a lot of
and he's not alone,
Adam
to be
echoes
fair.
the sentiment of a lot of
he
United
does,
fans.
He does.
His performance?
What we needed from Harry Maguire tonight was just that.
Yeah.
Nothing amazing.
Yeah.
I don't think he's, Harry Maguire's magnificent. A clean sheet.
Just under the radar.
No mistakes. Solid enough. Build on that.
Yeah.
Go into the Chelsea game, hopefully, with a little bit more confidence.
Yeah.
That, you know what, okay, we're through to the next round of Champions League. We've got a clean sheet. Me and Vince Lindelof back into our sort of groove. Because they did have a lot of clean sheets between them, didn't they? At one point last
I
season.
think it was one of the most in Europe.
Yeah, at
last
one
season.
point we had like 13 clean sheets out of 20 games or whatever it was. I can't remember the stat, but it was quite high. Just feel like it's like baby steps for some of these players.
Yeah.
Like Harry Maguire, Jadon Sancho, Donny van der Beek against Watford. Just taking that step where it's like, right, okay, now you're back to your best, or you're proving you're a United player or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel that was the case with Harry Maguire because me and you, especially yourself, have probably been one of Harry Maguire's most vocal supporters in the fan base. No matter what's been going on, you've been pretty level-headed with him. But I think even me and you have been like, the last few weeks have just been awful.
Yeah.
There's no defending those performances. No. But tonight, if that was 6 months ago, you wouldn't even be talking about it.
No, but I wanted to address...
No, but you're right.
Because like you said, well, it just went under the radar. You don't think about it. That was exactly what you needed.
You needed not to be going,
yeah.
Harry Maguire tonight.
And
again.
even if he'd have scored, they'd have been like, has he proved his data's wrong? I don't even want that conversation to have to happen. He had a good game. Nothing really happened. Fine. That's exactly what he needed.
Yeah, this is it. And I think, the big test comes this weekend, doesn't it? Because
of course, yeah.
Villarreal's a tough game, don't get me wrong, but it's not in the same level as going and playing against Chelsea.
The best team in England at the minute.
Yeah. We'll get into some of the super chats. Philip Owen says, how good does it feel to win that? I know the first half wasn't great, but we won, and that's what matters. Completely agree. That is what matters. KM, welcome to the academy. David Briscoe, Sancho's confidence has to turn around now that he's finally seen one go in. Hopefully, yeah. I think you don't know, do you? Maybe it's a bigger deal to some people rather than it is to Jadon Sancho. If that makes sense. Maybe he's always believed in himself.
Seems to be a bit of relief though.
Yeah,
and maybe
he
we're
did celebrate
reading that into it.
Quite a lot, which I get. He's just scored his first goal for United.
Yeah.
Seamus Williams, who's been a member of the first team for 14 months, says thought Donny was good, very tactically disciplined. Source looked much better. Fred playing high up, something else. Good level of performance. KM, who's been a member of the academy for 12 months. Great birthday gift for me. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Proper game of 2 halves. Happy for Sancho getting his goal. Let's hope he explodes going forward.
Yeah. He looked much more dangerous tonight.
He did. Sam Weatherby, big ups from Australia. Jadon Sancho, man of the match. Up the fucking Reds. Umar Majid points out a great point there that I forgot. Maguire was suspended on Saturday, so he's not going to say that into the Chelsea game, is he?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
But at least he can get a
Maybe
bit of confidence.
Him, to be honest.
Yeah, he can at least get a bit of confidence from that performance. Anyway, Damien Ahipine says clean sheet through to last 16. Sancho Ronaldo score, buzzing for United and Carrick. Yeah. Glory, Man United.
Do you think Poch was watching that, going, "Oh, thank God, thank God that they're through to the next round. I don't have to worry about that."
Now. If you are coming to United and it looks like there's a little bit of fire to that smoke, then yeah, you want to be in the Champions League, don't you? You don't want to be coming into the Europa. You don't believe in PSG, who've got a chance of winning the Champions League, to come to a team who aren't even in it. No. Sam Weatherby as well says Sancho 1-2. Sancho half Aussie is why he's so bloody. Sancho half Aussie is why he's so bloody good, mate.
I didn't even know that.
Dragon 7 says Poch watch this game for sure.
Definitely. I mean, he probably would have watched it anyway. But if you're Poch, you're watching that
on
his phone, and when some of the players knock on his hotel room door, he's like, "No, don't come in. I'm wanking." Like, were you watching United on the phone? No, I wasn't.
You're watching United.
You're watching. If anyone's watching United, it's you, dickhead.
Nemanja Nenandovic says De Gea man of the match. Again, kind of went under the radar a little bit. Produced one very good save, 2 saves that I'd expect him to make, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Mr. White says, I reckon Carrick is going to be here till the end of the season. I don't. I think it's, yes, it's a very good result. I don't see it.
There's no indication that that's what the club wants either, which is good, which is reassuring to hear, because I don't think anyone wants that. Yeah. I'm happy for him that he got the win. It wasn't a great performance, but obviously that's not really important at this stage of the sort of managerial process. But I don't think there's no word anywhere that we want him to stay on any longer than he has to.
No. And L says, couldn't celebrate this. Stench of betrayal.
Well, I don't think there was. I don't think they were good enough compared to last week to say that it was betrayal. If they'd have come out like, hey, how's it going, boys? 4-0, battered him. We were pretty shit first half. Do you know what I mean?
There you go. There's a little stat there from Squawky. You can see on your screen. Cristiano Ronaldo is the first player to score in the opening 5 Champions League games of a single campaign for an English club.
Absolute belter.
And I think that might just be his best achievement ever. Seriously.
That is phenomenal, though, especially when you think during a run where we've barely won any games and we've barely picked up any points and the manager's got sacked, he's sort of not quite single-handedly, but there or thereabouts, got us through to the Champions League group stage with a game to spare.
That is very good.
Very impressive.
Surish Vale, great confidence booster for Sancho, Fred, Rashford and Van der Beek. Feels good to finally win a match. De Gea was brilliant as well. That he was. De Gea was very, very good. When interim comes in, do the backroom staff go, ask Mac 1?
I don't know. It can go either way, can't it? Who knows? Interim, probably not. Because I think it would be not necessarily a bad thing, but you can see why they wouldn't want to change the staff for the interim and then change the whole staff again. Probably want some consistency. I would assume if Poch comes in, that's not going to be interim though, is it? And he seems the most likely candidate at the moment.
Yeah.
Even, short term, obviously he would be a longer term appointment. But in terms of who the next manager is going to be, feels like it's going to be Poch, doesn't it? Maybe this week.
Sinquabil Bandil says hashtag Carrick in. Foundation Manchester says still feel the players let down in it. I mean, it's weird, isn't it? Because there's an element where you go, well, these were the same players that were playing under Ollie and weren't performing, and it's not good enough and all the rest of it. But you have to move on. You have to sort of go, right, okay, now is the time to put things right. And that is kind of what they did tonight. They took a step forward through to the next round of Champions League. Let's move on. Let's sort of, it's not good saying, oh, we should have done this months ago. We can't do anything about that.
No.
What we can do is moving forward, performing at levels that you expect from Manchester United Football Club. And certainly that's what we saw tonight.
And do you know when you see the games after Solskjaer came in, after Jose left, those performances had the feel of like they were annoyed at Jose.
Yeah.
Do you know the freedom and the glee and the happiness that they were playing with under those first like caretaker Ole games? That had a feel of like they didn't like Jose. Now look how good we are when someone just believes in us. Yeah. That had that feel. Tonight didn't have that feel.
No,
tonight was only a notch, maybe 2 notches better than Watford, but still 5 or 6 below where we were at our peak under Ole. So it didn't feel like a disrespectfully sort of elaborate or like huge switch in form tonight. We just were slightly more clinical and we happened to not concede. But it wasn't like, oh my God, they've been taking the piss out of Ole, which I was worried about before the game.
Also, as well, you got to look at it and you got to think that there's certain things that Ole couldn't control about like that have happened tonight. Like Sancho is now fully fit from what we gather he wasn't. Marcus Rashford is pretty much fully fit when he's been coming back from his operation or wasn't available when he'd had his operation. So it's not like all these players just weren't performing because they couldn't be bothered or whatever. Some of them weren't available or weren't fully fit. Yeah. So, you have to look at that as well. BK says, can we please take a moment to appreciate Jay's full arm extended fist bump for all goals? Carrick's at the wheel. 24 and 21 even, I'll get my words out. And 4 is coming. Yeah, 4, man. I'd love 4 to come.
Yeah. The thing with Ronaldo, you can't, you might get told you're stupid, whatever, but you can't help but have some optimism that we could win a Champions League. We've got
winning a Champions League, I mean, now we're out of the league anyway, but winning a Champions League is probably more likely than winning a league. I'm not saying it's easier, but you can, like, Chelsea finished 3rd or whatever,
I think it is
4th and win a league. The Scousers finished 5th in 2005, won the league. Won the Champions League, sorry. Chelsea finished 6th in 2012, won the Champions League. It's doable. Yeah. Like, you can do it. You could be one of the 5th or 4th best teams in England and win a Champions League.
Has a Premier League team other than Man United ever won the league and even got to the final of a Champions League? It's going to take a bit of thinking, but I don't think they have they? Arsenal wasn't. Liverpool wasn't when they lost it to Milan. Chelsea wasn't. City wasn't. Oh, City did.
City did it last year, didn't
That's
they?
it. But that's it. So it's, other than United and that one-time City, not only do they win it and not do very well, usually if you get to the final, you probably haven't won the league. It's really difficult to do both, but you can tend to do the Champions League more than, winning the league if you're not quite as good.
Yeah,
we could do that.
Look at Spurs. I mean, they got to a final, didn't they? And
yes,
yeah, it's like, it's doable.
Yeah.
I think that, the way things are going as well, you just don't know. It's unlikely, but you just don't know because it's been such a crazy season already.
Yeah.
Parky 1712, who's been a member of the first team for 17 months, says, I just had some clown say to me that today was what happens when a manager actually has a plan. The disdain from some for Ollie is unreal. Yeah, you will get people now going, oh, look, that's what happens when you start Donny, or that's what happens when you give Sancho a chance and all that. And it's not necessarily the case. I think that, like you say, you've got some players that weren't 100% fit under Ollie and others that were. And also, let's not forget, we went into this game top of the group.
Yeah, and things
it's not like we've been a disaster in Europe.
No, and things just slip away when a manager's going. We've seen it enough times to know. It's not like they'd completely given up, but at the same time, they knew he was going. There was a feeling that this isn't going to work out, and players can't always, find their best form regardless of that. It's not like... I don't know.
And there's another stat there, as you can see on your screen. Fernandes is the first player to provide an assist in the opening 5 Champions League games of a single campaign for an English club. Him and Ronnie breaking all the records.
Bruno the assist.
Hey, there you go. So happy days with that. Someone said in the chat a minute ago that it wasn't great tonight. I think the first half was poor. The second half got much better, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't great, and that's why I think you can say it wasn't like they were taking the piss out of Ollie with the performances. They still looked lacking in confidence, especially in that first half. The midfield was still, vacuous and empty for large periods of that first half. Where you just think, who is actually trying to stop them attacking here? But it was enough, and that was the thing for me. I was obviously I don't feel let down by Villarreal's performance. I'm happy that they were quite slow, but as the game went on, they just got more and more sluggish. They didn't go for it.
No.
They didn't try and win the game. Second half, especially, they felt very much like, oh, we've lost this one, but we'll win against Atalanta next week or whatever it is. So, yeah, it was a slightly odd one from Villarreal, but I thought United weren't actually that good. We were just clinical, and we got better as the game went on, which is what you need.
Exactly. There's another stat here on ESPN. Cristiano Ronaldo now has 3 match-winning goals in the last 15 minutes of regulation. I think that's normal time in the Champions League this season, the most in a single season in history.
Does that count as a match-winning goal when we scored another one after? I know technically it is, but that's not what it means. It's not, is it?
No.
I get it. I know that we wouldn't have won without it, but Sancho also... Match-winning goal is you win by 1 goal and you scored it, in my head. But
if you're in a Champions League final, right, and you scored, right, it's 1-0.
Yeah.
You scored. It's the 93rd minute.
Yeah.
And you're running down the wing, you see your mates there, like your strikers there.
Fuck him. Boot it out for a throw.
Just brought it out.
Yeah.
Or just take it into the corner. And
Take
keep
it.
it
No, I shoot.
Shoot.
Yeah. No, actually don't shoot because the goalie might palm it back out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, you
try and win a free kick.
You don't let him. You don't let
Because
him
also,
score, do you?
so did Sancho not score the match-winning goal then? Because we're already leading, it doesn't count.
Exactly. It
Doesn't
does feel a
don't
little
like
bit
that stat.
slightly flawed, that stat. Raul Garung says Kante is going to have a field day on Sunday.
Let's not worry about that.
Yeah,
we've got 4 days to worry about that.
What's probably
5.
true. Surish Athavale says, I think we should play 4-3-3 against Chelsea. I'd start with Matic as CDM and Bruno and Donny in midfield. Rashford as a left winger, Sancho as a right winger, and Cristiano Ronaldo up front. What do you guys think?
Don't dislike that.
I'd definitely start Rashford and Sancho.
Yeah.
100%.
That front 3 I think will start. The midfield is slightly different.
I think you start Bruno as well. I
screen's gone off
don't
Callum.
think you have Bruno on the bench again.
Yeah.
I think he needed a little bit of a breather. Obviously today he did very well when he came on, but I think for the Chelsea game you need your best players, and he is one of our best players, regardless of the fact he's. Are you all right, you or what? Honestly, it's like watching my grandma looking for something. Yeah, well done. Atalanta 1-0 up already, according to the
we
chat.
expected them to win, didn't we?
Who cares? You know what I mean? It's like it's
who
by the
cares?
by, innit? Gavin,
Are we guaranteed first? We're not guaranteed first, are we? I think
Um,
Atalanta can go above us if they win the last 2 games and we lose.
You
But
know,
we're guaranteed to go
I mean,
through.
the main thing is going through. Sometimes you don't know how this works out as well. Everyone always goes out. If you get first, you don't end up with one of the tougher teams. But you just don't know.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Generally speaking, it's better, but yeah.
Yeah. There's been so many sort of weird ones like over the last few years. I think the fortunate thing for United is probably the 3 best teams in Europe are English.
Yeah.
And we obviously won't play them yet. So you've got Chelsea, obviously Liverpool and City.
Yeah.
And
when's the first time you can get them? Quarters or semis?
Quarters, I think.
Quarters, obviously.
Yeah, quarters.
Yeah.
So we're not going to get them in the next round now,
No.
which is an advantage for us because no matter who, you're probably not going to get one of the top 3 teams.
It's
I
weird
think they
that
are the top 3
I get
teams.
it in the group stage, but surely every
Maybe
knockout.
you can argue PSG's paper thin match, isn't it? Sorry, say that again.
I understand in the group stage why you wouldn't want them all together, but surely that first knockout round you should be able to play Liverpool or something.
Yeah, you'd have thought so, wouldn't you? Yeah. Get involved in the chat. Let us know what you thought of the performance. Who was your man of the match? Did anyone worry you tonight? Because it's like a pretty solid performance. Obviously, the first half wasn't great.
McTominay wasn't great. Wan-Bissaka wasn't great.
Wan-Bissaka, yeah, it's a weird one with him because he's almost gone on the radar a little bit because Shaw's been so bad and Maguire's been so bad, but he has been having a bit of a stinker this season. Harry Maguire has had some post-match comments. He said, it's massive for our season. The last couple of months have been nowhere near good enough and we needed to get a result for our season and our fans. We need to make sure that's just the start and we push on. Yeah, I agree.
Kind of sort of bog standard football manager quote, wasn't it? But
yeah, he's not really setting the world alight with them quotes, but I don't expect him to. Make sure you're hitting subscribe. Hit that subscribe button.
Yes.
We want to get to 700,000 subscribers by the end of the season, and with your support and your help, we can do. We are going to have Adam McCullough's reaction as well. That's going to be up shortly, so you can see what he thought of that game. Make sure you're checking that out. Also, we'll have all the other videos tomorrow looking at this game. We're going to be having a look at Pochettino because he could be coming to Old Trafford. We're going to be having a look at what went right today and who the players that stood out were as well. So we'll have Marum. I think Abdullah's going to be here. You're going to be here tomorrow. So check out all that good stuff as well. Don't forget to subscribe. That's been Joe Smith. Go and check him out on Joe Smith 93 on his socials. You know where to find me, Jay Motti. This has been the review. Manchester United through to the next round of the Champions League. How often we get to say that? Not very often.
Good.
Yes, very good. Thanks for watching.